landscape, which is what I wanted to do. Here I am in portrait. Again, I don't know, the settings must have changed, but welcome, hello. I'm Jill Brennan. If you're new here, I'm a Reconnective Healing practitioner and I'm doing live sessions for the period of Lent. So if we find that they're helpful and, you know, it's working well for everybody, and maybe this is something I can continue doing. Possibly the first Friday in every month. See how that sounds? Let me know in the comments if you think that's something you'd like me to do and would find helpful. Doesn't matter if you can't join me live, because I know a lot of you won't be able to. I'm doing it 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon UK time, and I know that won't work for some people. I'll be at work. You could be watching from anywhere in the world and it just may be an inconvenient time for you. But if you try and watch the playback within the first 24 hours, that really helps. I don't just mean for the frequencies, they don't wear off. I've had people watch Reconnective Healing live streams years after they were filmed and still feel the frequencies incredibly. No, it's more to do with the algorithm. I think that when you put a video out, if it actually gets some interest in the first 24 hours, that's the crucial time frame, then it will be put further out to a wider audience. And of course, that's what I want, because I want to reach as many people as possible with these beautiful transformational frequencies. Okay, so I'm just going to check. I should have done this straight away. Let's just see if I can bring up, I shouldn't make a noise, my channel, just so that I can see if people are talking to me. If you're there, and you might want to say something. And I'll also just see if it's working. I'm never quite sure. Let's just see. I don't know why that's not coming. Yeah. It's there. It's there. Yeah. Okay, great. Good. So I'm going to begin by showing the forgiveness journal, my forgiveness journal. We're in Lent, as I say. This is another plug of my book, but I'm showing it because I'm working my way through it myself. And some of you are too, I know. And the theme for today is something I'm going to be talking about briefly. So we're on day, let's have a look. Day 7, 8, 9, day 9. So what I didn't do this last year actually, forgot all about this. You can look at what day it is, and of course day 9 doesn't correspond to the calendar date because today is the 23rd. So that can be confusing, and I found that last year when I did it I was having to count on all the time and try to work out how many days we were into Lent. What you can do here is you can write the date, and I've written it there. No, that's Thursday. That's right. Thursday is the 22nd, and then Friday here is the 23rd, and I've circled Friday and put the date in there. I've done it in pencil because I might want to use it again next year. And you can see my little illustration of the bottle there, which relates to this page about solar water. Now, I have spoken about solar water before. It may be a concept that you're unfamiliar with. So it's been used for generations, years. In the ancient world, they used solar alexes for healing. And the idea is that water holds memory. And this is something that they must have known intuitively of old, but in more recent times, it's been proven by Dr. Emoto. You may know about him. If not, look him up, who did an experiment with some water. So he used the same water or water from the same source, put them in different containers, and then he spoke to, group A, group B, he spoke to the water saying, I love you, and just lots of beautiful things about, lovely positive words of affirmation. And then to the other group of the water, he he spoke hate and war. I think they even did it with words and wrote on the bottles: love, peace, joy. On one set, all positive stuff, and then on the other, hate, war, just depression, anger, angry words. And when they looked then through a microscope at these water molecules, they noticed that they were manifesting completely differently. And you had these beautiful kind of like snowflake crystalline forms for the positive words and thoughts. And you had all this, just no symmetry, completely misshapen, malformed constructions for the molecules of the other water that had been spoke to negative. And it isn't just about the spoken word, it's about thoughts. And prove that water is a carrier of memory or of information, let's say data. And the whole Ho'oponopono process is a cleaning process. Oh, how lovely, we've got the church bells. Hope you can hear me okay. I didn't know that. I've got rid of Roy today so that we won't have Roy suddenly barking. He's actually in the workshop with Noel, but there must be a wedding or something on, and so that's quite loud. But there you go. Hope it's just a nice background to our healing time, which we'll go into in a moment. So what was I saying? That water is a carrier of programming, and the Ho'oponopono is about cleaning the programming. So just as water is a liquid that you can immerse in, so too is air, like consciousness. We're immersed in the collective consciousness. We're not in isolation, so everything's affecting us all the time. And that's why we need cleansing at times. And we do need to cleanse what we're bathing in. And that's what we'll be doing today. So let me just show you my water. I can't work out if that's going to be really nice or if it's going to just be too loud and you can't hear me, but I'm hoping that you can hear me okay. So here you'll see the same water as the book. I took the photograph of it for the book. Here it is. And you might notice behind me there is an Edison lamp. You know, one of those Edison bulbs? That's because the whole idea of solar water is that you put it in light. You just let it sit in sunlight and let the water molecules absorb the sun's light. But if it's a February day, as we have now, then that's not going to... there isn't much sun. In fact, it was hailstoning earlier. Just like half an hour ago, I was walking Roy, and it started hailstoning. Really heavy, like sharp pellets. They were painting on my face. Yeah, and my hands were red raw. So you can use an Edison bulb and just place it in front of it for an hour or so and just allow it to absorb the rays. Now you might think, this is a bit woo-woo, I'm not convinced of this. It's, you know what? It's all woo-woo. This stuff that we're doing. You can't not... I nearly fell off my chair then, did you notice? Live, can't edit it out. You can't avoid the stuff that's strange because it's a different paradigm that we're working with. And when I'm using Reconnective Healing, I can't hold on to the material mindset, to the existentialist material mindset, and be involved in this work, because I have no explanation for how it can work, for how I can put my thought to compassion and healing. I mention compassion because the compassion is key, and I mentioned this in a video that I recorded earlier this week. How did Jesus heal? So do check that out. I'll link it at the end if you haven't seen it already, because somebody asked the question, what kind of healer was Jesus? What method was he using? So I thought that was an interesting thing to look into. So there's a video about that if you're interested. But how can it be that I just put my attention to healing and you watching it either live now or later today or tomorrow or next week or next year, begin to feel the sensations as you're watching the video. How do we explain that? Well, it's another level of reality, and it's outside of time and space. Obviously, time does seem to affect it. Space doesn't seem to affect it because I'm sitting here in my little room just beyond the churchyard in a little town in Cornwall, and you are wherever, all over the world. People will be watching this, and yet there is a correlation between us. And I don't know if you watched last week's live session, but at one point I was just talking about what I was feeling as I was activating the frequencies, and I mentioned that I always feel it in my hands, sometimes around my face. And then I said, I just noticed it there on my foot, and it was my left foot, and I specifically could pinpoint the location. I said it's in the arch of my foot. And within the hour after finishing the live stream, somebody got in touch with me and said, that was me. I had an injury on my foot, my left foot, yesterday, and I was lying on the couch. I couldn't take the dog out for a walk. I was laid up with this poorly foot, and something told me to check out Jill's channel. I haven't watched for ages, and I picked my phone up and you were live. So how do we explain that? Well, this is the wonder of reconnective healing, of this field that we share, this unitive field. So I've spoken quite a lot there. I'm going to move into the healing. I'm noticing that people are joining us, so let me just put my glass on, see if I can read some of these comments. Okay. Hi, Sarah. Hello. Hi, Julie. Good morning. Oh, the sound of the bell's good. I hope it's okay. It's stopped for the moment now. That's nice. Hello. Cosmic Vision. Vodka water. It's not got vodka in it. That's just rude. No, it's tap water. This is the thing. You don't have to use like fresh spring water, mineral water, just from the tap. And you'll say, no, there's all kinds of chemicals in the tap. Well, this is the power of thought. You decide what this water is going to be. Your body's made up of 60% water, about. And water is carrying information. That's where, around your body, it carries it down through generations, in your blood. So we just program it. We just decide what it's going to be. Anyway, I'm not going to spend too much more time talking about the Ho'oponopono process of cleaning. You can look into that yourself, look into Dr. Emoto's work, and let's just go straight to the healing now with the accompaniment of the bells. So find somewhere to sit quietly. Let's take a few deep breaths, just to become aware of the body and being grounded in the body. Notice any sensations that you feel in settling. Immediately I'm feeling an intensity around my head here. It's almost as though I want to itch it. I'm not going to, but that's a kind of noticeable sensation. It can feel perhaps like a tingling, maybe a change in temperature, maybe a bit of a sense of a breeze sometimes people experience. This is all by attention. It's all by thought, directed thought, where we put our attention. I am going to be moving my hands, but I'm not using a ritual or a technique. Just playing. So just set your mind and heart to be open to receive. I'm feeling a lot of energy on the back of my hand there and the back part of that finger. So I feel that if I could see it, which I can't, there's something here that I'm just playing with. It's almost like a curtain, a wave. Interesting that we say wave and that we mentioned water, so we can all relate to being in the sea and the waves, and how when you're moving in the water, sometimes there are little whirlpools that have a certain configuration, a certain movement, and also swirling patterns, and also different temperatures, aren't they? Sometimes you can, oh, that's a warm bit, that's a cool bit over there. So that's sort of what I'm experiencing as I move my hands around. And then you'll just be doing something over here with my hand, and I get a sudden like pinprick at the back of my head or somewhere else tangibly. So there's no correlation, it seems quite random. But it can almost feel like being a puppet where there are some strings just being, the tension being pulled on a string. If this is making sense, that's how I experience it. There, strong, sharp little, almost like a pinprick needle on my finger. Now I'm getting it around my eyes. Let's see if we can get you experiencing something too. This doesn't happen by anything travelling from A to B. This is because the separation dissolves and we're in a field of oneness by our attention and our openness to it, our desire, just wanting to receive healing, being open to receive healing. No matter how subtle it is, just affirm it. Because in affirming it, you're opening up, and allowing it to become more palpable, stronger. Sometimes people describe it as a little bit electrical. Really powerful for me there, just at the back of my knuckle. And it can feel like a burning sensation too sometimes. It's mostly located for me. Let me know if you're feeling anything. Those of you who have joined us live, or if you're watching this back later. And if you don't notice any physical sensation, you may just be aware of a change of vibrational energy. You may just feel calm and peaceful. I certainly do now. I'm just going to read what you're saying. It's all right, Janet. I was a little bit late too. So many tingles. So much light. Good. My cup runneth over. Well, I am going to just say that you can book a session with me one-to-one if you wanted to do that, and you can do that via my website. You can also write to me at my website if you wanted to send me a message and not put it in a public forum in the comments here. If you go to the contacts page, that's where you can get in touch with me if you have anything to ask, any questions, or just something to talk about, tell me about. Reconnective healing is also something that can be done for pets and animals. So that's another way in which you can book a session, and I can do that for a pet. And my hands are burning still. I'm finding that I have actually got a little bit of a cut on my hand, from my finger, from earlier in the week with a sharp knife, and that's tingling like mad just now, just from doing the healing. So maybe that means that something's happening. Maybe that's healing up a little bit. Yeah. So yeah. See you next week at the same time, and we might have a wedding, we might not. I don't know if it is a wedding. I can only think it's a wedding because the church bells are going so much. They don't usually practice on a Friday afternoon. That's Wednesday evening that they do their practice. So yeah, I'm going to love you and leave you for now, and take care. God bless. See you again very soon.